Have a little look then. Where are we? Dave, nice to be back. You're right.
I've cut my tongue somehow.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, on that note, yeah, great to be back.
Um,
Great to have you back.
I know. Yeah, well, it was a busy week last week. But yeah, just waiting for people to join us.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're coming through loud and strong. Let's check if we're live, by the way, because for some reason, it still doesn't show any.
And it's only been 3 years. And it still doesn't show.
I'll tell you what I will. Look at that. Question mark, question mark, question mark. That is so weird.
Why has it done all the
I
question
don't
marks?
know. That is so weird.
Well, maybe it's because what is today about?
That's true. Question mark, question mark. Hey, Angus, how you doing? Yeah, thanks for joining us all. Who else is on? We got Jim, we got Dan, we got Lee. Yes, we are live. Just checking that we're no gremlins hanging around from the system. But yeah, nice to be back. Yeah, it looked like a great live last week, Dave.
Yeah, no, it's really good, really good. Got the old Joe Dorino on it. And yeah, we talked about, well, as always, it started off with sort of like coming back from injury. And it's not a big leap from injury to sickness to altitude to boots. You know, so
is that how it happens?
That's pretty much how it goes, yeah. But no, it's really good. But anyway, we've got a new...
I'm back.
You're back then.
I know. Well, it's a week off. It was my sister's graduation. Hey, namaste. Hey, Jerome. How you doing? We've got Pratesh as well. Yeah, this week, a little bit different. You know, we kind of feel like the last couple of lives, you know, we did one about injuries last week. We've also talked about some of the things that have stopped people from potentially going on adventures.
Yeah.
This week, we kind of wanted to kind of delve back into the equipment stuff because we know that you all love talking about equipment.
Yeah.
Now, although we'd love to talk about waterproofs and down jackets and manual bootans,
yeah,
we thought we'd talk about the things that you don't think you need, but do.
Yeah, no, it was quite... Do you know what? It was hard to come up with my list. I had to remember back to the first time I ever went on a trek.
Yeah.
And what did I learn from that trek that I can share with people who are due to go on their first trek? Yeah. You know, I thought this is mainly going to be useful for those people that, like, they booked a trek, they're about to go.
Yeah.
They know they need equipment. They know they need boots and a jacket and a hat.
Yeah.
What else do they need? What's those nitty-gritties that they're going to open the bag and they're going to go, oh, sugar.
Exactly. Definitely the word sugar is going to come up.
Sugar is on my list.
Not on mine.
No,
I have checked it twice.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Sorry.
This is almost like a stocking filler episode. Just
I know,
in August,
we're a bit early. But no, it'd be interesting because I think Lee has kind of beat us to it. No, but I do like. It'd be interesting to hear.
Yeah.
What do we think then? I want to put this out to Evertrekker community now.
Yeah.
What are those things that you normally, you know, because some of you have been on a lot of trips with us. You know, hey Bri, how you doing? Kate Ramsey, how you doing? Kate, great to see you on here. Stuart, Stuart Taylor. I hope all is well. Yeah. What things have you kind of last minute, just about to leave the door, and then you're thinking, oh, I got a certain weight I need to keep to for my baggage, and I'm going to leave it home. Let us know some of the things that that's potentially happened.
Stuff you've kicked out the bag rather than put in the bag.
I mean, because we're going to come. I think we'll swing back to that, but it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What have you ditched last minute, and then it'd be interesting to see if it's on our list.
Yeah.
Because it's quite interesting to see, because I know there's certain things I've gone, I won't need that. And then there's always a moment generally that it does kind of come to it and you think, you know what, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
From time to time.
There's definitely a fair few times I've been out trekking, either on a trek or even out locally, where I really wished I brought something with me.
Yeah.
And there's loads of times when I've had stuff in my bag that just serves as a paperweight.
Sorry, I was listening to Bri put cable ties. And luckily I had to read on then, Bri, because I was getting a bit worried about you.
Yeah, bag of line.
Cable ties. It's kind of like, wonder what you're going to be doing to the rest of the group.
Yeah. Hang on, he's just put a comment in there. Balaclava, shovel.
Wow. Bri, I mean, you know, if there's time to admit anything, here's the time. No, very good. We got Gore-Tex socks. Yeah, I know what you mean. Never leave home without the Summit beer for breakfast. Hey, good man. Wet wipes from Dan. Hey, namaste. Hey, Tina. She's watching all the way from Nepal. I hope all is well. You're having a good time up there. Stuart Taylor got duct tape. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are able to tie things at the moment.
Yeah.
Kind of getting worried about all of you guys. I wish didn't ditch. I needed 9 lots of wet wipes. Don't need them.
Yeah.
Well, 9 packs is a little bit excessive, Kate. But you know, there are times when you do need wet wipes, as we
Funny,
know. We all know.
Kate talking about that Kenton Cool book in case you met him. I remember on the way up to Dingboche, and Kate was saying, like, oh, it's quite hard on this hill. And then she put her bag down and I felt the earth shake. And I remember saying, like, what on earth have you got in that bag? And she had the Kenton Cool book, I think one other book as well. And we had to kind of we made it. I can't remember what the second book was.
Can't remember what the book
I'm
is.
pretty
Kate,
sure,
what was the book?
I'm pretty sure there was 2 books, Kenton and one other.
Yeah.
And we decided then that you don't perhaps have to carry those around with you every day.
Not during the day.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kate. Good times. I can't believe that's 4 years ago. This year is crazy. But anyway, Kate, great to see you on the live.
Yeah.
Here we go. Tina, paper pants.
Yeah.
A big diary, a journal. Yeah, some great stuff. And it's true, isn't it? You know, we've all before I've left the house, I've left some things. I think the first time I went to base camp, I packed. I actually put some gaiters in there, and it's not to spring any early surprises, but gaiters were one that I didn't really think I might need.
Yeah.
Time to time, and 99% of the time you don't. You know, unless it's really, really heavy snow. But then again, I have been on treks and people have got them, and it actually looks all right. If it's bad weather, it can help. But again, it's hard, isn't it? Because you know, in certain treks in the world, there are certain weight limits that you're trying to keep to, and it's hard because you're trying to balance that with the things you need, or the things you think you need, which you take them anyway, and then you leave at home, and then you know it's kind of vice versa, isn't it? I wish I had that. So it's a bit of a. I think anyone that goes on an adventure, these kind of thought processes go through your mind, certainly. And I thought, yeah, let's chat about that today. It'll be a laugh. Why not?
Awesome.
So, Dave, I think we'll delve straight into it. But just to the Evertrek community as well, as you know, you've been on here many times. Any questions about anything? I know we got the drop your questions in the comments moving bar at the bottom there. Any comments that you have, questions, drop them in the comments. Obviously, myself and Dave, we can get them answered, even if you've asked it 10 times before and you still need to know. That's fine. Yeah, great stuff. It'd be great. That's what we're here for as well, to kind of help you all before your next adventure. Even for the people like Tina who are already out in Tamil as well. I'd love to be in Tamil right now. It's a great place.
Awesome.
Gone to Nims's store. I bet I've heard he's definitely over the last couple of years he's got a lot more kind of influence in Tamil. I see there's a couple of stores going up there.
Yeah.
Pop in. I'm sure he's got some cool stuff. Dave, where should we start then? I mean, there's going to be, I suppose, to preface this, you're probably gonna think about some of these. Some of these might have already been on the comments.
Yeah.
You know, and if you've heard of these before, you might be questions like, no, we don't really need them, but yeah, these are sometimes that they can come in handy, and we're like, well, if they're lightweight, if they're useful, why not take them?
Yeah, exactly.
Dave, I mean, I'm sure we've got some similar ones. I don't think we've actually shared notes.
I don't
like a
think
test in school, isn't it? You're not showing the answers.
I have seen the first one on your list.
Okay.
And it is also on my list.
Okay, well, we may as well talk
So we
about
may
that.
as well tick that one off because it's the easiest one.
Is
to
it
do.
because we've kind of tied each other in knots?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Go on,
it.
then.
Exactly it. And spare laces.
Yes.
I
think Lee mentioned that.
Lee did mention it as
Yeah.
well. Honestly, it's one of those things. I'm pretty certain in every one of my rucksacks, somewhere in there is a spare set of laces. They weigh nothing. They take up zero space, and they're an absolute lifesaver. I've seen people use them to like fix rucksacks, not just the obvious, but like laces.
Exactly. Yeah, for
But
multiple purpose.
I've seen people tie them together to make a lanyard for their sunglasses.
Nice.
You
That is
know,
very handy. I mean, geez, the amount of scratches you get on sunnies.
I've seen people tie their hair back with laces.
Yeah.
Fix rucksacks, like, you know, if one of the clips dies, you can like tie it in and like put it down.
Yeah.
So many useful purposes for the common lace.
Yeah, and I mean, if Bri, you know, depending on wants to tie anyone else up, they can also be used for that as well, Bri.
Yeah.
You know, as well as the cable ties and the duct tape.
Exactly.
But as he says, what goes on a trek stays on a trek. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Cool. So spare laces then. I feel like I should have a pen and tip.
I've ticked mine off. Do you want to tick yours off as well?
Yeah, go on. I like ticks.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Bit of a random one. This one.
Okay, hit me
But-
with it.
Kate, as we're talking about books, and Kate mentioned there, and something that I don't say is a dying breed, but I certainly see less of these days is like journaling and writing down of memories. And I think naturally, because we're on social media, because we're constantly talking about what we're doing generally, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But there's something about having a journal that I think is great to go back. I mean, I tell a story from when I first went backpacking in my early 20s, and I took a journal. I was out there for a while. I only kept it up the first 3 months. But I tell you what, if I look back on that now, and some of the feelings and the people I met, I remember all the email addresses, because when I went then it wasn't Facebook or anything, so you put all the email addresses in the back of the book. But I look back on it now, and certainly some of the things that happen when you're traveling, it's like, wow, did that really happen? But there's something about it. It's I think all of us feel a little bit what's that word? We always like to reminisce over the years, when we pick up those memories, because you don't remember everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes some of those memories that we write down in a journal are worth so much more than some of the other stuff that you have. And obviously we got the photos and the videos, which are great as well. But sometimes writing down some of your inner thoughts into a journal and then coming back to it, it's cool exercise.
Well, one thing I quite enjoy about it is that when you take lots of pictures and things like that to remember, a lot of the time you kind of, your thoughts and feelings might change over time when you look at those pictures. People talk about rose-tinted glasses, just an example. When you write something down in the moment, it's interesting to look back and see how you felt at the time, how that's changed over time as well. Because if you write down an experience of a day, an example would be, if I wrote down my experience the first time I tried to climb Toubkal, and I wrote it down as there, it would just be like, God, this sucked. God, I'm so sad.
That's all right. That's all right.
But it's interesting because I look back on that first experience now differently.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. It teaches you a valuable lesson in terms of, everyone is going to go through that experience where they have to turn back on a mountain at some point in their life.
We've all had to be there.
A lot of lessons learned. And, I look back on it now with, of course, I wish I got to the top first time. Everyone doesn't. But at the same time, I don't see it as a negative anymore.
No. Well, no, exactly. But, you Ed Vistas.
Yeah.
No shortcuts to the top. Yeah. Great book, by the way. If we're talking about books, very good book.
Yeah. Getting up is optional. Getting down is mandatory.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. But you knew your body was at that stage, and you got down, and it was safe. And you've been back there, and you've taken it on. Going back there in September as well. We can't wait for that.
Yeah, third helping.
Soup to Summits. That's going to be quite exciting about that.
Yep.
But no, it is something really interesting about that kind of stuff, because especially more than ever now, mental health is so important.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like the thoughts and feelings that are going down onto when they're written down on a page, or they're put somewhere else, it's not stored in your mind. It's like a weight taken off.
I do it a lot.
You know what I mean? I know you do it, don't you? You write stuff down sometimes that pop into your head.
Quite a lot. Yeah. Quite a lot.
And it helps.
It does, because a lot of the time, you kind of carry around those thoughts after a while, and they can be positive or negative or neutral. But either way, I find that by writing them down, it's almost like I don't have to carry that around and think about it anymore. I can actually forget about it, knowing it's not going to be forgotten about. It's great. But whilst we're on the book front, I've got one that actually you can bring with you.
Okay.
It doesn't weigh anything. Adds 0 pounds to your weight.
I'm trying to guess what it is now without looking at your list.
Yeah, but actually, it's something.
Any guesses? Let's give them 30 seconds. See if there's any guesses. So what is it again?
So you can bring 1,000 of these with you if you want.
Okay.
They don't weigh anything.
I think I've worked it out.
They can last. One can last a whole trip, or you can use 10 across the whole journey.
And it's quite light.
It's very light, and in fact, it doesn't weigh anything. It weighs about.
I wonder who's going to be the first to guess.
It weighs about as much as the internet.
A map. Oof. Jerome, I'm not sure. I'm almost certain it's not. But I can tell you what it is, and it's definitely not rocks.
Yeah, no, that's the
Jerome,
opposite.
Definitely not rocks, Jerome.
So, what do you think it is?
A Kindle.
Well, actually, I was going to say audiobooks.
Ah, balls! Of course it is.
Audiobooks weigh something, doesn't it?
They do. Oh my god!
So yeah, photos and morale. All of these are really good. But
Very good,
actually,
very good.
it's something that I always do on every trip, and I could show you my Amazon account, my Audible
Forgot
account.
about that. Yeah.
You know, I'll always bring a couple of audiobooks, one for the traveling, the plane, taxi rides, and all that sort of stuff. And he'll tell you pretty much on a plane. I mostly won't watch movies.
No, I get through about 3.
You get through about 3. I put
And a couple of beers.
I put headphones in straight away.
I know, I don't know you do it.
And
And
then
you're
just-
gone then for the whole flight. And I'm like, bye.
But it's a good time for me. You know, I thousands of audiobooks on my phone. They weigh nothing. And they're everything from sort of like fiction, you know, true crime, podcasts. And I love bringing them with me on any traveling experience because they always serve a purpose. So if I'm using them whilst I'm trekking and I think, oh my God, look at that hill there. That's gonna be horrendous. Put my headphones in and I can distract myself by listening to some music and some uplifting, like you know, it's a bit of Rocky as I'm going up the hill.
Nice.
Or if I'm like, you know, just sitting in my bed and I'm feeling contemplative, you know, I can listen to an audiobook about something. If you know, if I want to go to sleep and I can't sleep because the person's snoring next to me, I'll put some gentle whale music on, maybe a bit of Pink Floyd echoes or something, you know. I don't know. Anything.
I like it, Dave. I like that. Yeah, that was a really good one, actually.
Yeah, so that's what
I.
I.
Honest.
And yeah, like I said, you want to bring 1,000 books with you.
Yeah.
Kate, now I guarantee you, could bring Kenton Coole's book and just get her to sign the back of her iPhone.
I tell you what, she'd fly up that Namche Hill.
She'd fly up there. She'd fly up there.
definitely.
Well, she did. I've checked with her, Ben Nevis as well.
Well, don't actually fly up there in a helicopter. It's good to walk.
Yeah.
But no, great stuff, Kate. I hope all is well. Danny, how you doing? Danny Mitchell. Hope all is well, mate. Feels like a long time ago now, isn't it? On the old Killy trip last year. You get to a certain age and you have to write every thought down, or it's gone into the ether after a few seconds.
Yeah.
Honestly, Danny, any age. I tell you, there's things that sometimes you're thinking about, or you think it's a really good quote that you've seen or something. And what is it? Blade Runner? Is it Tears? Was it Memories? They're like tears in the rain.
Yeah,
It's like
those moments.
all those
in
moments,
time
that's it, yeah.
will be lost like tears
That's
in the
it.
rain.
I knew you'd remember that one.
Yeah.
And it's kind of those moments. Yeah, exactly. If you can put them down somewhere, and maybe they can bring a smile to your face on a boring rainy Monday morning or something. You know.
Yeah.
It definitely helps.
What have you got next?
For me, I'm going to go for. So I'm going to take journal off, and someone else has actually put it there, so I'm going to bring it up now, like a spare mini dry bag, because there's been so many times I've been on a trip, and you plan for 4 seasons, right? You got your waterproofs, hopefully. Some people do take waterproof trousers. You don't need them on all trips, but you know some people have them, especially on Killy. And if you want to wear a big poncho. But you know what? If I've got a power bank, which isn't on our list, because yes, you do need them. Having a mini dry bag that you can put all your electricals in, or some of your things that are valuable to you, and you don't want them to get wet, or you want to keep that dry pair of pants to the last day, or knickers, whatever you want to keep dry. That mini dry bag, because they don't weigh a lot, but it's nice to have a little area in your bag that doesn't get wet, because it doesn't matter how hard you try, and I'm sure a lot of us, especially in the UK with weather, it doesn't matter how hard you try, you get wet.
It's more with you,
yeah,
and the ever leaking bag.
That's true. Ever leak.
I've never known anybody's bag leak as much as yours. I think every trek we go, you pick up your bag and you go, "Oh, what's that?" And I'm like, "Oh,
I know.
it's
I've got rid of that bladder now.
Was it the same bladder that
It
caused
was
the same problem?
Because it was a trusty old.
I actually
been a
think
lot.
because you borrowed your bag to Jen. I couldn't believe this when we were walking from the refuge to Imlay. All of a sudden, she said, "Oh, my bag's soaked." I'm like, "Oh, it's Sandy's bag." I'm like, "It's soaked."
Sean. Sorry, going back to journal. EBC trip just booked this morning for October 25. As I've done Annapurna. Great stuff, Sean. It'll be here before you know it, mate. Be here before you know it.
But no,
take the dry bag. Definitely.
Really good one with the dry bag. Something I've actually, I never bothered with dry bags. I always just used carrier bags until I went on a trek with you.
I used to do the same.
But you had loads of those little
mini ones.
The mini ones. They were
really
great.
good.
They were really good.
Honestly, and talking about weight and trying to keep it down to the minimum, they're air really. Obviously, when you put stuff in them.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. It's really useful, and I'm sure a lot of people might choose to leave them at home, but definitely take them.
Yeah,
I would. It's just somewhere else to go for keep things dry.
Awesome. Okay, my next one.
Yeah.
Which is, I think I'm gonna go for. We've. I think someone might have even mentioned this,
Okay.
but cough sweets.
Yeah, someone did mention it.
Always,
mention that?
always have a pack with me.
Yeah.
There's a couple of reasons why. One is when you go to high altitude and you do a long
Almost.
trek, a lot of people can pick up like a cold or something like that. So
Yeah.
you may actually pick up a cold or have a sore throat. They make a big difference, you know.
Yeah.
The second one is the air is often very dry and dusty, and having one of those cough sweets just makes a big. Oh, the Jacobins, yeah. I like the cherry ones
Okay.
and the honey ones.
Mm.
For Jacobins, they're my personal favorites. Yeah, they're really good. I always have them. In fact, I'm pretty certain I've bought some in 2019 from a chemist in Namche that are still floating around my bag.
I dare you to eat
But
them.
they're mainly turned to sort of this sticky dust.
Honey and lemon, strepsils, Jerome. That's your go-to, is it, mate? Yeah, but
Yeah.
it helps. You're right though. Every trip, doesn't matter how well you feel, because of all the dust, because of the dry air, because you're so high up. Yeah, your throat takes a bit of a
And
battering.
you know what's good? If you drop one of those strepsils in your whiskey, you've got a hot toddy.
Don't give me ideas.
Or
Dave.
rather just a toddy, because it won't be hot.
It won't be hot.
Yeah.
That's all right. I can live with that.
But
I can live without the heat.
I'm going to tick mine off.
Oh, sorry, Dave.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
The pen.
So what was it? Cough sweets. Yeah, big difference.
Yeah.
Something pretty simple
Yeah.
and straightforward, but actually, can make or break. And also, if you do get a hacking cough at altitude, those cough suppressant sweets that you can buy as well, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
You just get a better night's sleep. You know what it's like when you get a cough and you're up all night and you can't, it's just doing your head in because you can't sleep. Those cough suppressants make a massive difference.
They do. I'm going to go almost quieten the mood a little bit here by talking about the next one, which are to do with sound and earplugs. Now, sometimes I've left these at home or I've forgotten them. More likely forgotten them. But I remember a couple of times struggling to sleep. Luckily, I had my my headphones, so I could still kind of zone out. But earplugs, I would take some.
Why were you struggling to sleep?
Well, this random yak got into my account. His name was Dave.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Everyone says I snore, but honestly, I've never heard it.
You have. You woke yourself up.
I actually more than once I've woken up like.
I was going to say, and I'm like, Dave, you're right.
But occasionally, if we're in the tent, I can feel this.
Well, yeah, I'm like, I'll throw something at you first. If that doesn't work, then I'll go over and I'll move
I think
you.
I'm a very light sleeper, so generally you've only got to nudge me and I'll wake up.
I was going to say, if it was me,
But yeah,
you'd probably have to throw something over my head to wake me up.
you don't snore that often.
If I'm tired, yeah, maybe.
I always tend to sleep with my headphones in anyway,
Yeah.
listening to podcasts and stuff when we're like sharing a room. But you're not that bad unless your asthma's playing up.
If that's playing up, 100%.
Yeah, if your asthma's playing up, or if you've picked
don't
up
share
like
a
a
room.
chest infection, then it is like sharing a room with your own miniature sort of storm. It's just like it's just like this wind and it's yes, but not better recently.
I like what Dan. Yeah, no, it's in a really good place now, ready to rock for a couple of upcoming expeditions. I can't use earplugs. The voices in my head become too loud, and they keep me awake. Well, Dan, it's a different problem.
Yeah,
but
that is a different
mate,
problem.
we've all been there. The voice telling us not to do something.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, book the trip. No, I'm only joking. But no, you're right. Earplugs come in handy on all trips. So I'm going to take
Jerome
that
said
one off.
earplugs are really useful to silence Stefan's farting.
Wow.
I don't feel, Jerome, like it's the noise of the fart that is the most intrusive part.
I was going to say there's other problems going on there.
That's half a second and it's over with.
Yeah.
But the aftermath, the fallout,
Wow.
that can last.
Fallout.
That can be till you open the tent the following morning.
The Oppenheimer, is it?
The Oppenheimer. Yeah, exactly.
Very good.
But
by the
no,
way. Went to
really
see it
good
last
one
week.
about earphones and earplugs.
Yeah.
Vitally important, and because as you know, especially if you're sharing a tent or if you're in even one of those tea houses, you could be on your own in a tea house, but if the person on the other side is snoring, it makes absolutely no difference. They may as well be in your room. And a good night's sleep, makes a massive difference to your morale, energy, all of that sort of stuff.
It's good as well. Lee is coming up with some absolute gems on here as well, and some of them are on our list. Yeah, Lee, keep them going. Anyone else as well? Anything that you think should be on our list?
Cyclone. What's Cyclone?
It's like essentially, it's like you've probably seen it. You know, the cyclists wear in the dark and it glows.
Oh right,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
shiny,
like the luminescence.
I think that's
stuff.
what it is. Yeah, Lee,
Right.
is that what it is?
So-
is that? I'm trying to take an educated guess now about that glow stick.
Oh, it's a glow stick.
Glow
Nice.
stick.
One of those
Oh, we're
ones
having
you-
a
one of
rave,
the
are
ones
we?
you- One of the
Oh,
ones
right.
you crack.
Well, it's I know Sophie, who's probably not on here today. She's been a long-term Ever Trekker. She likes to do a bit of raving every now and again, as well as a trekking, and is trying to join the two.
Multiple uses.
That would
Multiple
be
uses.
very useful if you're having a rave party, definitely at the tent.
Yeah.
Great stuff. So earplugs, Dave, on to you.
Yeah, so my next one, I'm
Yeah.
going to put down something that I think is pretty standard for most people now,
Okay.
but I didn't bring one on my first trip,
Mhm.
and it's made a big difference since I've started using one, and that is a water purification bottle.
Ooh, very good. Very good.
One of the more important things that I now pretty much like my bottle, which we've got an example of over there, is it just lives in my trekking rucksack now.
Yeah.
And it makes a massive difference, and it's peace of mind. Before I started using those, and
Yeah.
this is pre-2019, no, pre-2016.
Yeah.
That was when I first went to base camp. I just used to use chlorine tablets, which is I got taught about those when I was in the Scouts.
Yeah. Good old
Um,
Scouts.
and then just like a Dalgene bottle or a Camelback bottle
Yeah.
or something like that. And that was the only way that I knew to sort out water other than boiling. And then when the purification bottles came out, and I remember the first one I used, I think it was called Aqua Pura.
Yeah.
And it was very expensive, but I remember buying it and it just revolutionized everything. You just fill up anywhere. It's
Yeah,
great.
they're really handy.
And now, obviously, I use the Evertrek one, and it's literally anywhere I go, I never run out of water anymore, and I never have to worry about stomach bugs. And
Yeah.
the first time I went on a trek and I forgot it was October 2019 when I picked up that
Oh, you had a dodgy one, didn't you? Dodgy one.
I think it's called giardiasis or giardiasis. It's like a stomach parasite that you get from drinking dodgy
Nepalese
water.
napalm.
It was the Nepalese napalm.
Nepalese napalm.
And I think dogs can get it as well. And I'm not entirely sure. I think it's called giardiasis. Anyway, it's an absolute nightmare. It would have been completely avoided had I remembered my
Yeah.
water bottle. So that is definitely something that I've not brought that I wish I did. It changed everything.
Brilliant. No, and it's honestly with regards to these things as well. Like I know we talk about waterproof bottles and things, but it is true. Like sometimes, you know, when we are on a trek, and yeah, like especially in Nepal where we've rolled out the water filters, and we're doing that on all of our treks, you know, over the coming years. You know, and there are costs involved with this, so it's taking a little bit longer for us than we want. But certainly that's on the agenda.
Yeah.
But having something like that you can take and use is really good. And yeah, Stuart's asked there, which is a really good question as well. I think I'll bring it up because I think it's really, really good. Would you use purificating tablets in your Camelbacks for the water given you on Killy? Go on, Dave.
No, I don't think so.
No,
The
it's
water,
boiled, isn't
yeah,
it?
the water there is perfectly safe to
Yeah.
drink. And the reason why I don't put those purification tablets in my water bladder is because they are chlorine, essentially, is what it is.
Yeah.
And forever and a day, your water bladder will taste like a swimming pool.
Yeah.
So there's very little you can do to kind of clean it. And I know this because I wanted to clean one of my water bladders once. And I thought in my sort of genius mind that if I got like 2 or 3 of these things,
Yeah.
stuck them in there, put them in water and left it there for
Yeah.
a night, the next morning it'd be ultra clean. And it was. In the way that, you know, most swimming pools are relatively safe and clean.
Well,
But
some of them.
that doesn't mean that I want to drink out of one. And
Brilliant.
honestly, most of the sort of stuff, if I'm going to use that chlorine tablets for anything, I will use them if I have to. If I'm not able to sort of boil or purify stuff with a
Yeah.
bottle, and I usually just put them in a bottle of water.
Nice. Yeah, good shout. Good question though, Stuart, because you know, it's good to check these things. And I mean, there's no harm in it, certainly, you know, with regards to filtering it out or anything. But I think those chlorine tablets are a bit,
Yeah.
a bit nasty. I mean, geez, the first few trips I did to EBC, I use the purification tablets, and you know, I get some reflux sometimes and like heartburn, and it aggravated that like no end. It was nightmare. And you know, you're trying to make life as easy as possible at altitude, and when you try to drink, you know, 4 liters of water a day and it's heartburn,
Yeah.
it's harder. So yeah, certainly since we've had filters and water filters, like Pratesh there mentioned soya water filters, which we
we've used those.
which we use on all trips in Nepal. But we're rolling those out on all the other trips. Yeah, they make a heck of a difference. But yeah on Kili, the water's boiled anyway. So which a lot of countries actually choose that method of boiling. So yeah, if you want to give a little bit more confidence to your drinking water, then having another bottle where you can filter it, like a Life Straw or one of our water to go bottles. There's lots of them out there. Obviously, Soya makes similar ones. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
So we've done 4 from you, 4 from me.
Yeah.
So we go 1 each.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
That's 10.
Go on. So I've got So I'll go. Which one will I go with? I'm not going to use this one, but I'm going to get it out there. It's been talked about duct tape.
Duct tape, yeah.
For literally everything.
Take it off.
The one that I'm actually going to do more about.
Oh, bonus.
Yeah, the duct tape was a Brucey bonus.
Okay.
It's
useful.
I'm going to go with spare batteries.
Ooh, what for?
And I don't mean a power bank.
Okay.
I mean, it's always handy to have a few extra AA's and AAA's in your backpack. The reason is almost all of the treks that we do require at some point for you to use a head torch. Even if you're not going to be doing any sort of night hikes, they're a really good idea to have because if you get up in the night and you need to go to the toilet, they're really handy to have. And even if you put fresh batteries in and then go back to it a year later and it seems to work, they can die. They can get cold, they can die, they can corrode, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And pretty much on 2 separate occasions, I've given spare batteries out.
Okay.
One of them was to one of the guys, I can't remember, it might have been Stevie B when we were climbing Kili.
Yeah.
Swapped his batteries out using my spares.
Okay.
And the other one was Jen on Tupcal. As we started
Nice.
off, hers just dimmed right down. So not only can it sort of make a big difference for you, but it can also save someone else as well.
Nice.
So it's a nice thing to bring and sort of have in your backpack.
I like it.
Cameras as well. Most people's cameras, can have a battery as well. So yeah, anything like that.
So that's 9. Right, so we've got one more then. I mean, I've got loads here, and I'm going to leave a couple of them out. I'm going to go for this one because, getting a good night's sleep at altitude is really important. Sometimes hard. You can't get around there. If you're at altitude, you're on a trek, you're in the middle of nowhere, it's hard to get a night's sleep. But you know what? Sometimes if you can have something comfortable to put your head on. So I don't know if anyone else has taken this, but on one of the last trips I did, which was back to Machu Picchu, I took an inflatable pillow. And I hadn't done that before. I thought I'd try it out. And you know what? It helped because on all the previous trips, especially if I'm not roughing it, but you're just kind of dealing with what you're going through, I'll put my down jacket on my bag and I'll sleep on that, and it was fine. But you know what? I have an inflatable pillow. They're really lightweight, and it actually really, really helps. Especially if you're trying to get as good a sleep as you can, because it's going to impact the day after and the day after that. Like accumulative, your lack of sleep is detrimental to whatever you're going to be doing. So yeah, highly recommend you get one of those. Kate, great to see you. Hopefully
Bye,
trek again at some point. I know you're gagging to do Ben Nevis again. That's for sure. But no, it's inflatable pillows.
Yeah,
definitely.
No, I agree with you. When I was on Kili, I didn't bring one, and I just slept on my duffel bag.
Yeah,
I kind of just made like a sort of a pillow out of it. But it's not the same, is it, as having like a nice, a nice one. Yeah, no, you are 100% right. Anything that sort of helps you sleep well is going to be a worthwhile investment. I
think, and Bri mentioned as well, and I suppose a bonus one, because I did put down having, vitamins and some sort of sorry, I brought up the wrong one there. Sorry, Lee. It was Bri's I was trying to bring up. Electrolyte tablets to replace salt and give you a little energy boost. And I know when we had Cliff, we were talking with Cliff, with Craig from Cliff. He talked a lot. I know it's hard, isn't it? You can't help it. Yeah. Because Cliff is like the first thing you go to. But Craig from Cliff was talking a lot about like replacing salt and energy and things like that.
Yeah.
But I did put down that I have like vitamins or electrolytes that I do take as a little bit of a bonus one.
Yeah.
So good shout, Bri.
No, really good. A little extra one I had was various cables.
Ooh, well, this isn't for Bri to tie anyone up against.
No. This is this is charging cables.
Okay.
Mainly because the first cable you pick up is your mobile phone cable.
Yeah.
But actually, you'll find that the GoPro takes a different one to an iPhone.
Yeah.
That's USB-C. Your iPhone's going to be like a Lightning one.
Yeah.
Then you're going to need to charge your Anker power bank over here. That's mini USB.
Yeah.
So what on earth is that there?
What's that?
I've just seen I've just seen what you've done, and there was like it looked like a travel pillow. There's also like a torture device.
I wouldn't get that one. It was only because Marcus has asked any recommendations on the pillows in terms of the makes. I can't remember the specific make, Marcus. Apologies, but the one I got, essentially, if you were to go into a Cotswold Outdoor, and it's not the one that you find on planes, the one that goes around your neck. It's not one of them. It's an actual in the shape of a pillow, like a rectangular pillow, and I forgot the make of it now. That's what I was trying to.
Summit, is it one of their ones, or
it could be actually? Yeah, it could be.
Stuart Taylor's come up with a good one, and which is a Garmin watch cable. It's a really good one to have.
It's a good one. It's a really good one to have.
Yeah, really good one to have.
Why is that, Dave? Why is that?
I don't know, mate. I just think that
because I always borrow yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and if you're using and tracking what you're doing, and again, we're talking about the things you didn't think you need, but you do, is definitely take your Garmin watch cable.
Yeah,
I've forgotten it a few times. Pratesh, do you recommend any particular type? I tend to buy Diorolite. Yeah, you're talking about electrolytes, yeah?
Yeah.
I've used Diorolite. I know obviously it's built for something specific, but at the end of the day, if it's got electrolytes in there and it works, then it works.
See, I struggle with Diorolite.
Well, because of the taste.
I don't know what it is.
Really?
It just makes me.
Yeah.
That's that stuff that Anuj gave me one time.
That was from Nepal.
Yeah, but it's the same stuff.
Yeah.
Normally it's always blackcurrant as well, and I'm not fussed on it. But apparently it is the best. It's what the doctors will give you to kind of rehydrate your stuff. Generally speaking, I get the
SIS.
SIS.
Yeah.
Because they sell them in Asda like quite cheap and stuff like that. So
yeah, they're good. I know we were talking again with Craig from Cliff, and basically asking him, do you have anything like that? They don't at the moment, but there are makes like SIS, Revival, I think another one's called. If you just give it a bit of a Google, there's loads out there. I don't know if anyone uses any specific ones, but I think if you were looking at Diorolites, you were looking at SIS. I think it comes in a powder form that you can tip in as well. I think Jody uses High Five. Jody's on the comments today. Pratesh, have a look at SIS. You probably would have seen some of the, maybe some of them they're in Boots or Tesco's. They're in a lot of supermarkets and stores.
Yeah,
and they do a lot of like energy gels. I've used a lot of their gels, which not everyone kind of agrees with them because they're not great for your stomach. Quite rich. There are other ways, but if you're talking about electrolytes specifically, SIS.
I tell you what, I have tried those blocks.
Oh, the ones from Cliff.
Since we chatted,
how's it been going?
They're great.
Really,
really good. I find them. It's just like a big, chewy, sticky sweet, but like soft and much easier than the gels. And apparently, 2 blocks is the equivalent to 1 gel. So you can buy like a pack of them like that, and they'll do me for like a whole day's riding and stuff like that. Really nice. And where possible, I kind of like to take pre-workout. You'll be fine. Honest to God.
So I'm just looking. Yeah,
I've tried pre-workout once, and I thought my heart was going to explode.
I used to take that a long time ago, but
it can't be good for you, man.
It depends. It's like anything, balance, isn't it? If you have too much of anything, it's bad for you.
I even tried what the recommended dose,
and it was still too much.
Oh, I just couldn't handle it. It was too much.
Maybe there was something else going on inside. Maybe too much coffee at the time. Too much soft drinks.
Potentially, I felt like my heart was racing, and it was like an uncomfortable, like buzzy, tingly feeling. It was I can't remember what it was called now, but I remember the powder was like a fluorescent blue, and it had a skull on the box.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not. Maybe
Lee, I was doing a fitness test and thought I was going to die.
Yeah. See.
Lee always maybe we'll leave those pre-workouts alone then, Lee.
Lee uses ration pack ones as well. Do you know what? Talking about military packs and things.
Yeah.
Our friend who we call him Dan the Sniper.
Yeah, Dan the Sniper.
Dan Mills.
Yeah.
He's
Island Peak last year.
Yeah, he's got me a British Army Gore-Tex bivy bag.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I asked him about it years ago, and I was like, I'd love to try one. And he was like, yeah, so he got me one.
Fantastic. Probably an urban myth, Jerome. We will see. But I've heard that Viagra helps with altitude. True.
Yeah.
And Actually, it does. Yeah, I remember once seeing it for sale in Namche on the way to Everest, and I was thinking, what the heck is this? On one of my first trips to Everest Base Camp. So yeah, a little bit of research because of how it stimulates blood flow. Yeah, apparently it does. I mean, obviously it has multiple uses, but definitely. Just see what Angus has said there. Don't gargle, you get a stiff neck.
Yeah. I think.
Sorry, Angus, that was brilliant.
I'm sure the way it works, it's quite similar to Diamox in a way. Viagra was invented accidentally. I think they were trying to invent heart medication.
Really?
Yeah, and they discovered Viagra in the process.
It had like symptoms.
I'm assuming that during the human trials there were certain
it's not symptoms.
Side effects.
Yeah,
but apparently the mechanism by which it does things is quite similar to the way Diamox works.
Right.
So, but Diamox doesn't have the more uncomfortable side effects.
The other things that
the Viagra can have. Yeah.
Nice. Sar makes a really good question. Hey, Sar, how you doing? Will electrolytes work with a water-to-go bottle? Does it filter them out? Yeah, mate, you've hit the nail on the head there. So essentially, it filters out everything. So if you're going to do those electrolytes, don't bother putting them into a bottle that has a filter.
Yeah.
If especially water to go, the kind of filter unscrews. Take that out and save it for when you need it to filter water. It'll filter out anything. Baroccas, like it's really powerful stuff, and it'll probably do something to the filter as well. It'll probably take up a lot of that filtration with all the electrolytes in there. So I wouldn't bother doing that, mate. Yeah, just take just a normal bottle's fine.
I put Diorolite. Remember I mentioned that first brand I had?
Yeah.
I put Diorolite in one, and it completely clogged the filter. So
really,
it was a nightmare. But you'll end up with like just flavored water basically.
I have got another 5. I know we talked about 10.
Yeah,
but I got another 5 I wanted to bring in.
Nice.
Now these aren't necessarily they're not for everyone. And might be a little bit sprinkling of humor in some of these.
Okay.
But the first one, Dave, is quite an obvious one because toilet paper. But it's not the toilet paper you think. It's toilet paper with a twist. So I was thinking, imagine if you had toilet paper that had inspirational quotes on each little roll. So each morning when you go into toilet, before you do what you got to do, it's a pick-me-up.
Do you know what? I love the sentiment, and
yeah.
But it feels a bit wrong to then do what I've got to do with that. I've got to look at that quote, and it's going to be like, Dave, you're the best. Go out and do it. And I go, okay, great.
I don't know. I was thinking about it and thought that would be quite cool.
Yeah, no, it would be quite cool. Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Inspirational.
So that's not going to work.
Inspirational. Do you know what? No, let's not write it off because it's a fun idea. Inspirational toilet paper.
So another one, my second one was a jar of air from home.
From home?
I mean, it doesn't weigh anything.
No,
but
I suppose
it's a little bit of home taken with
only the jar. Do you release it at some point, or do you just keep it for a bit?
Depends on if it was from your bedroom at 2 a.m. or it's from maybe you're at
the coast. But okay, I go like just a little one like that.
Just jar of
just catch the beer and be like.
I'm clearly going for the psychological one.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, no, yeah. Well, mind you, in a toy store once, I saw someone selling a ghost in the jar. And it warned you not to open the top because it get out. Yeah, so I would go with that. And actually, I remember one whiskey brand, I forget what it was, started selling water from the same source that the whiskey's made from to go with your whiskey. So
Diane's on it. Hey, Diane, how are you? Some people will now get rolls and do their own doodling.
Yeah.
You know what? Why not? That sounds brilliant.
Awesome.
They might do so. The drawing is going to be so good, they'll be like, I can't use that now. Yeah. It's valuable to me.
Well, I'm enjoying this. And what else have we got?
Okay. An autobiography of a yak.
An autobiography of a yak.
Because I never know what they're thinking.
No.
So it'd be nice to know, what's going through their mind.
I have previously wondered this myself, and I've come up with my own conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
Eat sex, what's that? Kill it.
Okay.
Because that's what they're thinking, and then they see me coming along, and they're like,
yeah.
But yeah, a biography of a yak.
Autobiography.
So
from themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe
what would that be called? Answers on a postcard.
Ooh, what? An autobiography of a yak?
Yeah. What would he call it?
Okay. Yeah. Nice. I like that. Let us know. Yeah, in the comments. The next one is dependent on obviously who wants to wear it, because if you've been around the Evertrekker community for some time, you would have known that there's quite a lot of beards, especially from the Yetis. And I thought, imagine imagine a fake beard,
Fake beard.
just in case one day you really want to wake up and feel like a mountain man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd agree
And you
with
have-
you.
you know, and you
To be
haven't got a
honest,
beard, even for the
my
ladies.
beard's a bit tragic anyway, so I could quite happily put that
Okay.
on just to kind of
Yeah.
almost like a toupee for my chin.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, no, I've signed up on
Um,
all of these so far.
So the next one is if it's really quiet and it's, you're getting close to the base camp and you just need a little bit of a pick me up. What about trekking poles with built-in maracas?
So what? The maracas are like, I'm assuming they're on the top. And as you're walking along, it's like,
Do you reckon Zach
do you know
would like
what?
that one?
I had so much
You like
fun
that
just
one?
doing that.
There
Yeah,
we
no,
go.
that's
I knew these five.
that
would go
is
down
my
well.
favorite so far. The maraca.
Well, I'll say the best till last.
Because I
you
did
know.
see that I'm not sure of the brand, but they make a trekking pole that's got like an ice axe top. And I thought to myself, that's pretty useful.
Wow,
But I prefer the maraca.
it's pretty dangerous as well. Thinking about it,
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh,
I'm not sure that would work. But
I'm
I
not-
mean, the technicality of
It's not.
trying to
It
use the
wasn't
axe.
a La Sportiva one, but I know it was yellow. I forget. If you look it up, you'll find it. Trekking pole with it, and literally the handle's there, and you can like pull it out, and it's got like a hand guard, but then this bit's an ice axe. So apparently, if you're trekking pole,
Jerome brings up a really important one: a blindfold for when you're crossing the Hillary Bridge. Well, don't tell Bry; he's already got the cable ties and the shoelaces.
Yeah,
Don't give him a blindfold. Honestly, he's dangerous. That man.
yeah. I'm more of a tambourine pole top, says Jezza.
Nice, Jezza. Brilliant. Sorry, I know we're bringing out the humour today, but I thought, why not? We're talking about all the things that maybe
Yeah,
we don't think you need, but actually you do, right?
No.
Imagine a tambourine pole top. That'd be
I'm
brilliant. wouldn't
happy to sign off on all of these things.
Yeah.
Anything that can kind of make some sort of noise as you're trekking along to cheer you up is a good idea. Maybe you could even have like the harmonica buff. You
Now,
know,
that's
in the
good,
middle
Dave.
of the
I like
buff,
that.
you've got the harmonica, and you might have to put it over your ears because they're quite heavy.
Yeah.
But as you're breathing,
You look a bit like Hannibal Lecter.
but
surely.
imagine that though, you would know how hard your friend is working by how upbeat the song is.
I was going to say, you're trying to get as much air in as you can.
Yeah, exactly. So, for instance, Toopkal, which is pretty steep, that'd be, that'd be lots. But when you're just chilling, it'd just be like a nice
Harmonica
a
buff.
gentle
You know
melody.
what? I reckon we should patent that, Dave. Definitely.
Yeah,
You heard it here first.
yeah.
No, great stuff. Yeah, I mean, lots of that is obviously there's 10 there that are really useful, and there's a few there that are potentials.
Yeah.
Maybe they're maybes. They could be left at home. They might be brought with you. But no, it'd be it's interesting just thinking about these things. Apologies if you hear a noise. We've got a train going past here.
There is a
quite
train
big one.
going past. Yeah,
Could we have a reed mouthpiece? A reed mouthpiece.
yeah.
What's that?
A reed goes in like the top of a trumpet,
Oh, I see what you mean.
or
Really?
like any type of sort of instrument like that.
Ah,
Yeah,
nice.
the reed
Yeah,
is the
Diane,
bit-
why not? Why
See,
not, mate? That
Zach-
sounds good.
Zach's over there now because
I
he's a
know.
sax man. That'll have a reed.
He's our musical yeti. He plays literally every instrument under the sun,
Yeah,
although he says he can't. he's
Yeah.
built that way. But yeah, he can play a tune or two.
I've got two silly ones. Well, not silly.
Ooh,
One of them was a
so
deck
we
of
go.
cards.
Yes.
But
Brilliant,
make
brilliant
some
idea.
money off your fellow travelers or lose some.
Yeah.
And another one, going back to what Jerome was saying earlier, air freshener.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's good in
so
the tent. Yeah.
I'm thinking, you could hang up like a little one of those like, I don't know, what are the tree ones called?
Yeah,
know-
they're good. Ones that go in the car.
Yeah, the ones that go in your
Yeah,
car after you've
nice.
had it valeted. Like one of them, you could just kind of hang on the edge of his bed. So that type of
Is that what it is?
yeah,
Lee Wyatt, Cards Against Humanity. Yes, I love that game. A little controversial.
yeah,
But I mean, yeah, if it's a good icebreaker. Definitely, you get to find out who out of the group has the sickest mind.
yeah.
So yeah, it definitely
Magic
it definitely,
trees,
Yeah, it definitely.
Proteshnos,
Magic trees.
magic
Brilliant.
trees.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Jezza, good question. In all seriousness, in winter or potentially winter conditions, I take my yak tracks. Yeah, good point. There are certain times of the year, and sometimes as well, it's good, and people can take their own of these. Obviously, we do have them if you're going over the high passes with us in the Everest region, as well as other trips. But yeah, taking things like yak tracks, they do help. Certainly, essentially, they're ones that Jezza, if I'm right here, the ones that just go over your trainers and boots, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I know you've got the full crampons, but these are ones that just nice stretchable. I remember when I was out in Iceland a couple of years back on a photography trip, and using these to get kind of close on icy conditions like waterfalls and getting good shots on uneven ground when maybe crampons were a bit overkill. Absolutely brilliant at certain times of the year. And just thinking actually in terms of what time of year, we're thinking of Nepal. You're talking about maybe the February, the March, even April. Also, as well, you're looking at the autumn. You're probably thinking maybe the latter end of October, November into December. But yeah, good point, mate. I like that, Jezza.
Awesome. I'm just thinking of still on air fresheners.
Okay.
Do you remember, like as a kid,
Yeah.
your old man would have had one in his car. Every old man had one in his car. Every dad had one in his car. And it was like a little black rectangle with like a little plastic crystal bit in the middle. I think it's called Fire something.
I can't remember that, Dave.
Honest to God, if I see one now, I swear I could smell like a Cortina from the 80s.
Cortina,
one of these guys is going to know, I promise you. I'm sure it's called something Fire, but it's a little black rectangle, always dangling from the windscreen of any father.
Okay.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to it.
But I am going to find out on next week. If
air fresheners.
If it doesn't come up here, I'm going to bring it up next week.
I think we should do a live all about air fresheners. Maybe different industry.
Yeah, well, Naga Champs.
Okay.
Now those. You've got.
We have them in the house.
You've got ones like that.
They are
for
big.
The garden.
They are big. Yeah. I like a bit of the smell of Nepal. Now I can smell again.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's amazing. I can't wait to go back to Nepal in the autumn.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. The autumn is fast approaching. Whilst we've got some kind of space, we do have some spaces left talking about the autumn on our October training weekend. You may have seen some emails or some posting in the group over the last few days. But if you are interested in joining one of the training weekends, we do have one in a few weeks, actually, in September. August. August.
August and October.
I was looking there thinking
September's the only month we don't have one.
It is, yeah. Sorry, August in a few weeks. We do have like literally one, maybe even two spaces. Jody, if you could pop the link up for us, that would be wicked. But we do have plenty of space on the other training weekend in October. So yeah, it'd be lovely to meet you and do some hiking.
Yep.
Smurf, who's our guide. Don't worry, he's not blue. It's not Papa Smurf. That's his nickname. But yeah, it's going to be a great weekend.
Dan knows faux orange.
Good knowledge. Good knowledge.
Faux orange original car air freshener. That is like I remember my childhood now.
That's what it was.
Late 80s, early 90s, having that in my dad's car. But back to training weekend. Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. Obviously, the one in August, it is going to be the height of summer. We are going to be in a very exposed environment, so please do remember to bring your raincoats. Is that
the Welsh summer?
That's the Welsh summer, yeah.
Brilliant. Talking about, actually, I think this is probably one for Jerome. I was going to put it on the list, but I thought maybe people want to know what the weather's like.
In Wales?
No, when they're on the trek.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm thinking they could take with them, basically, they call it the Weatherstone. You heard of the Weatherstone?
No.
So basically, if it's wet, then it's raining.
Yeah.
If it's dry, then it's sunny. If you can't see it, it's foggy.
Good. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Like
I think they make those in Wales.
Do you like that one?
Yeah, no, that's the Weatherstone, yeah. And we can even get Jerome to carry it for us.
Jerome maybe could make a living off those stones. I think could be really, really good. If anyone's thinking, what are you guys talking about? Jerome is known in the community to be the designated rock carrier.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, Jerome, maybe you could patent that. Just an idea. An idea. Yeah. Now you're retired and all,
Is Jerome retired now?
Yeah, I think he has. Yeah, he retired recently this year. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So he's got all the time in the world now to go on adventures. So no excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
To come and do these trips.
Well, I imagine that now he's retired and spending so much time at home, his wife's going to force him to go and do slightly longer adventures, maybe like 3 weeks at a time. So maybe Aconcagua's waiting for him.
Definitely. Well, look, I think time to kind of round it up now. Dave, any final thoughts about what we talked about today? I know that we talked about some random stuff.
Yeah, no, it is a really good one, this one. It is kind of similar to ones we've done in the past, but it is really important to kind of remember, especially when you're coming up to this time of year, because our biggest season is about to kick off, which is, you know, Nepal, September, October, November. You're going to be packing. You're going to be wondering, do you need that? And you might think to yourself, do you know what? I might leave the jar of air at home. And now you know you've got to take it with you. But in all seriousness, these are things that they, you know, if you look at it and you think to yourself, it doesn't weigh much, it doesn't take up much space, just bring it with you, because you'd rather have it than not need it. Than need it and not have it.
I was literally going to finish a sentence.
Yeah.
But no, thanks everyone for coming back. It's nice to be back this week. I say we'll be back next week. We got a couple of announcements to make over the next kind of few days. Some fun stuff. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out in the community. But I hope that's been useful today. I know we kind of jest and talk about, you know, certain things, but it's been you know, there are some bits that you think you might not need and leave at home, but actually you know, you can take them with you and they could help. You could get a good night's sleep with that travel pillow. You know, you could feel better and feel more hydrated with, you know, some of the hydrated. Sorry, especially if you're in the out there. You know, if there are things like electrolytes, things like that, you know, and then even if Bry wants to get tie anyone up with those laces, he can do. So yeah, I hope it's been useful. But yeah, we'll be back next week and have an awesome week in the interim.
Awesome. Take it easy, guys.
Bye. See ya.